Hi all, welcome to the Caseverse, your one-stop solution to the case-based learning. In this video, we shall be discussing about an important aspect, a tricky part to many people as to how can we start the case-based discussion. What should be an ideal icebreaker to start the session? So in this video, I'll be sharing a few powerful methods, tried, tested, proven methods that give you an effective, a very powerful start to the case-based learning, eventually leading to a very fulfilling, very satisfactory learning experience through the case study. So, firstly, one of the popular methods that is seen used by the case facilitators is throw a provocative question, a challenging question, a compelling question, something that that sets the audience abuzz, that sparks a debate. Something like, so for instance, an illustration I want to share here. If you are discussing a case about, say, innovation, strategy, competition, market, then probably I would think of bringing a recently made provocative statement by a company or the CEO of the company. Say, for instance, how about using Elon Musk's recent statement of making a patent pledge? What he meant by that, he would want to make the Tesla technologies of making a car and electric vehicle as an open source. Now that was a remark that had opinions pouring in from all the corners. Regulators, investors, shareholders, customers, competitors, shareholders, employees, the management at the Tesla, etc. So that is quite a remark to spark a debate among the audience in your workshop and make people talk about it. See that house is split into sides, taking the stands, whether it's favorable to all the stakeholders in the long run, in the short run, and that will set your audience into some sort of discussion which can lead to the discussion in due course about the case. So sparking a debate is one way. Second, maybe you can start with a related real world recent development, a very popular development that has taken place. So for instance, if you're discussing a case, say if you have to teach time value of money in financial management, maybe one of the recent developments that you can talk about is Elon Musk at Tesla making a statement that Tesla will be investing a huge amount of $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. So while that is a huge statement, a popular statement that most of your audience would relate to, that might set an open house discussion around the importance of the asset reserves and the traditional asset reserves as against the alternative asset reserves. What are the various contrasting factors between the traditional reserves like treasury bills or government bonds as against the non-conventional instruments like digital reserves like Bitcoin? That will set the discussion. That will bring out the opinions from the audience, and that will eventually lead to a case based. So in the process of the discussion, you can introduce the concepts of money, value of money, time value of money, and what is it? What are the various factors that determine the time value of money? You can introduce interest as a factor. You can gradually define the concepts of the PVIF, FVIF, which can seamlessly integrate into the discussion of the case in the hand. So that is one way of setting up an open house discussion through a popular statement that has hit the headlines recently. Thirdly, you can set a poll. You can conduct a poll. You can ask the participants to participate in a poll, cast their vote, but you need to do a little homework. So you need to identify what could be the various components of your poll. Say, for instance, an illustration I want to use here is, say, if you are discussing a turnaround kind of case, One quick example that I can pick here is of Jet Airlines. Jet Airlines, we know in the Indian context, it's been struggling for many years now to make a comeback to the aviation sector, in the aviation sector. And so what is to be done, what is going to be the plight of Jet Airways is anybody's guess. So you can share quick details about Jet Airways in the past several years, and then you can conduct a poll as to what could be a best possible alternative can happen to Jet Airways. Should it be sold out to an existing operator, or should it be bailed out by a private equity, or should it be bailed out by the government infusion, or should it be going for a leveraged buyout, or should it be going for a consortium buyout, or should it be shut down, right? So these could be several options, and with the available information, you can ask the participants to cast their vote along with an explanation, a justification to their vote. That is a powerful way of getting your house into a set of discussion, and then seamlessly integrating the discussion into the case in hand to discuss about a turnaround strategy. So that is one. And one more powerful way that can do wonders as an icebreaker to a case discussion is role play. For instance, here I can pick an example of a case of Continental Airlines, which I myself had conducted some time ago, wherein so Continental Airlines, when it was led by its founder, Herb Keller, it was at a crossroads when the aviation sector was bleeding because of the recession. So it had two options in the hand. One, you have to sell the aircrafts, save money, and that will save your human resources, or fire human resources and keep flying your aircrafts as it is indeed intact without selling it off. So you can segregate your house into various roles. The whole house can be split into various micro groups comprising the representatives of human resources, representative of finance, and the chief executive, so CHRO, CFO, and CEO. You can have several micro groups comprising these sub roles, and you can have each micro group conducting discussion among the group members, arriving at a decision whether it should go in the interest of selling the aircrafts and saving people, or firing people and saving the aircrafts, along with their substantiation. And you can ask each group playing their role respectively as a CEO, as a CHRO, as a CFO, what substantiates their stand. So that can set quite a discussion that can set the ball rolling, that can lead to several opinions, and that can again integrate the discussion into the case in the hand. And finally, one more way could be a very silent start. You don't need to essentially necessarily start by talking or by debating always. You can have a situation. So for instance, you have that reminds me of a case at Under Armour, when it ran into a crisis-like situation, when it had an adverse situation in its experience at Winter Olympics Sochi, Russia, when its supplies of jerseys and t-shirts, the apparels to the sportsters had to face the fire of non-performance below the par of expectations, and it had to face the heat of the sportsters, the skaters, essentially, the sports regulators, country people, media, etc. So you can give a task to the teams of drafting, designing and drafting a communication strategy. There is a crisis. The chief marketing officer, the chief public relations officer, the CEO are answerable, accountable, and this has to be dealt with in several stages of communication. So what will be your strategy, communication strategy, PR strategy to encounter the situation? What will be your take? How will you design a strategy to face the crisis and manage the crisis and bring it to a peaceful conclusion, right? So that can be a written task for them to design a communication strategy and make a presentation at the end of it. So those are some of the powerful icebreakers that I'm happy to have shared with you. I'm sure at least one of these will be appropriate, will be applicable to any case that you would be dealing with. That's all for this video, and I'll be soon back with another insightful video in the space of case learning.